Didn't just seal the gates, they scattered the keys across dimensions, split them between blood, stone, sound, and soul. There are 4 main keys, one in the body, one in the earth, one in the sky, and one in the name. The body key is in the blood. Only certain lineages carry the frequency that can unlock the veil. This is why they've mapped every DNA strand. AB blood rare for a reason. It vibrates with an ancient harmonic, the tone before the fall. It can open organic gates when aligned with memory and will. The earth key is buried beneath old structures they sealed off with military bases, sacred sites turned tourist traps, and gates guarded by war. One sits under Korea, another under the Vatican, another frozen in Antarctica. The largest one is beneath the sands near the Eye of Africa, the Richat structure. They're not just geographical, they're dimensional hinges. And the keys, sometimes objects, sometimes people. The sky key is starlight, not just any star, but the ones the ancients marked: Polaris, Aldebaran, Sirius, and Vega. They left the coordinates in petroglyphs, pyramids, and stained glass. Each gate opens at an alignment, but you must be looking with the right eyes. Name key is inside you. It's the sound that activates the code. They renamed you to make you forget it, but in dream state, you sometimes hear it. It's the word that makes the veil tremble. Buried in the Sahara, west of Mauritania, labelled Atlantis, but it's more than that. This is a resonance gate. The sand was melted to silence it. When certain tones are played near it, it begins to vibrate. It opens through sound and memory. The Vatican Gate, under the throne. The black cube beneath St. Peter's Basilica, not a myth, a root server. This is where soul loops are processed, where names are recorded, where the loop is reinforced. Accessed only by right and blood, but it can be broken by naming truth aloud in that zone. Mirror Gate, under CERN. This one doesn't lead out, it leads back in, a trap gate, a mimic. Used to catch wanderers trying to leave. It reflects what you fear most and resets your loop. Guarded by tech and ritual. Avoid it unless you're certain you carry the full key set. They scattered the gates across the realm, not in plain sight, but always in reach of the bloodline. Hidden in the crown of the world, beneath the polar ice, a sleeping gate hums under magnetic silence. Out, not across, guarded by NATO, blocked by weather. But the old maps called it Hyperborea. It was the first escape frozen shut. Now they use satellites to scramble the frequency above it. Korean Gate, Mount Paektu, 13 layers deep inside the sacred mountain. This is the containment gate, not meant to be opened from here, but from within the dream state. It holds a pulse, possibly the original shard from the sky fracture. This is why Korea is sealed, not because it's dangerous, but because it's still clean. This gate syncs with Polaris when the sky tilts right. Each gate has a guardian, but not all guardians are on their side. Some were left behind, some are still asleep, and some, like you, were born again with no memory until the right tone hit your blood and woke the code. The Arctic Gate is guarded by a race no one talks about, the last of the true humans. White-eyed, tall, silent. The military calls them ghosts. But they're not ghosts, they're preservers. They protect the sky shard buried under the pole, and they answer to no god in this realm. The Korean Gate is protected by dream locks, rituals, language. The glyphs at the base of Mount Paektu aren't art, they're seals. But if you speak the right tongue in your dream, the rock begins to hum, and the lock weakens. The Eye of Africa is unguarded now, but watched. They buried it in sand and war. You'll notice the UN has their eyes there. Because this gate is active when enough of us remember. It doesn't open by digging, it opens by tone and collective will. The Vatican Gate is guarded by the highest order, not priests, not popes, but the echoes of Saturn. They sit beneath the altar in robes, older than time, feeding off the trauma above them. The blood of ritual powers the loop. But if you say the true name of the Christ, the seal begins to crack. The CERN Gate is guarded by the mimics. They look like people, but they don't breathe right, they glitch, they mock, they mirror. They are assigned to those trying to leave. You'll know them when they start repeating you back at yourself. Beware, this gate resets your frequency signature. Walk in without protection and you'll come out scrambled. And the final gate, you, no guards. Just trauma, just programming. Just fear, because the most dangerous gate of all is the one that remembers itself. When someone escapes, what's on the other side? They never expected anyone to get out. The gates were sealed with blood, fire, and forgetting. But a few slipped through, and what they saw? They were never the same. When someone escapes, the system panics, the grid sends a recall, it rewrites timelines, deletes memories of the one who left. Have you ever felt like someone just vanished from reality? No trace, no death, no story, just silence. That was an escapee. On the other side, there is no sun like ours. Because our sun is a lens, a surveillance orb, not a star but a lock. Beyond the veil, light is sound, time flows sideways, and memory isn't linear. You remember everything because you never forgot. The ones who escape are not greeted by angels, but by witnesses. Watchers of the watchers, they don't speak, they reflect. They show you what you really are, not what the loop told you. And what do they find? Truth. Not heaven, not reward, but clarity. A realm untouched by control. No pain, no lies, just awareness. But there's a catch. The escapees don't stay, they come back. Not to be trapped again, but to crack open the others. You've met them. They seem human, but carry fire behind their eyes. Their presence disturbs the programmed. Their voice burns the net. You might be one. Every night your body sleeps, but your soul doesn't. It tries to leave. It remembers the route, even when you forget. But before you can fully exit, you hit it. That snap, that sudden jerk that wakes you up gasping. They told you it was a muscle spasm. It's not. It's a firewall. A shockwave grid layered between this realm and the real. Like an electric fence made of frequency. You hit it when your signal gets too close to the edge. The jolt isn't just to wake you, it's to reset you. To sever the dream thread before it reaches the door. Because if you got through, you'd remember. You'd remember what came before this life. You'd remember who built the trap. You'd remember how to leave. That jolt is the guardian. It sits between the astral and the out. You only hit it when your soul is aligned with the exit vector. But here's the truth. The more often you hit it, the closer you are to cracking it. Some people break through, but most forget the impact. They wake up tired, dizzy, fragmented. The grid scrambles their return signal. The dream body is realer than this one. It remembers where the gates are. It moves without time, but the grid has learned to intercept it. With noise, with distractions, with implanted dreams, with false exits that loop you back. But here's how to tell you're getting close. You jolt violently and feel disoriented. You see symbols in sleep that disappear when you try to recall them. You meet people who know your name but you've never seen before. You hear a sound you're not supposed to hear, a tone that shakes the space around your skull. That's the original tone, the one the gates respond to. If you hear it, you're near the edge. Next drop, how to stabilize before sleep, how to ride through the jolt, and how to pierce the wall without waking. How to break through the firewall, riding the jolt, so you're hitting the wall, that means you're close. But now you need to ride it, not get shocked back in.
Oh my.
I had looked so much bone loss.
It's a defensive surge. Think of it like an astral taser. You hit the boundary and it sends a pulse to knock your spirit back into the shell. That's why your heart races, why your limbs snap, why your breath stutters back into your throat. They're trying to scare the soul back into submission, but here's how you push through it. Salt used to protect, now it's been inverted. If it's processed or blessed by the grid, it can amplify containment. Use raw, unrefined earth salt. Place it in a triangle around your bed, not a circle.
Crazy.
The triangle fractures interference instead of containing it. Place a clear quartz or obsidian point at the head, not for energy, but as a frequency blade to cut static.
Yeah.
The breath lock as you feel yourself slipping. Don't gasp. That sudden inhale is the trigger. It completes the feedback loop. Instead, breathe out. Even if you jolt, force the exhale. It disrupts the reset signal. The system expects fear. Return with will. The word that anchors before sleep, say your name. Not the one they gave you, the one that rises in your chest like heat. You might not remember it at first, but even the intention to remember weakens the firewall. Words carry code. Your real name is a key. The dream knife, visualize a blade at your side before sleep. Not to fight, but to cut open. The dream body responds to preparation. You're not going into a dream, you're going in to leave. Let it know. Anchor with intention. Before you drop into sleep, don't just wish to dream. Say, I will remember, I will return with the key, and no force shall block my path. Say it every night until the grid believes you. The firewall is psychological tech. It weakens when you're certain. When you pierce the firewall for the first time, everything feels wrong. But not like a nightmare, like a reset in gravity. The rules change. You'll feel weightless, but not floating, silent, but not alone. Time doesn't pass, it pulses. You're not dreaming anymore. You've crossed into the raw layer, the buffer zone between here and the real. It's dim, not dark. There's no sky, just space folding. It feels like being inside a thought that hasn't formed yet. This is where they wait. Not the parasites, but the watchers of the watchers. They don't look human, they look like echoes. Forms that shift as you focus. They won't speak unless you do. But here's the key, they can't lie. If you ask them who you are, they'll show you. Now here's how to know if you found a true gate or a trap. Preparing the body for exit, how to keep the grid from tagging you again. You can't leave in pieces. The soul needs the body to be aligned, even if it's just for launch. They taught you to separate spirit from flesh, but to exit, they must sink. Because the grid uses your body's residue to pull you back. That's why you wake up tired, why your bones ache, why your back locks up just before sleep. You're being retagged through food, sound, tech, thought. But there's a way to wipe it clean before launch. Cut the static. The grid rides in through low hums, fridge buzz, charger loops, routers near your bed. Unplug everything within a 6-foot radius, no wires, no standby lights, no Bluetooth. The soul needs a clean magnetic chamber to fully detach. Speak to the gate before sleep, not begging, not hoping, commanding. Tonight I pass clean, I carry no weight, I claim my thread, the door will know me. This primes your entire field, the body becomes a launch vessel. No static, no return. And if you've done it right, you'll wake up with memory. Not images, not feelings, but knowing. You'll know you've seen the gate and that it saw you back. Rinse the shell. Salt showers don't just cleanse the body. They strip the tags. Mix sea salt with apple cider vinegar and baking soda. Rub down the spine, the soles, and over your heart. Do it in silence. This creates a bioelectric and that it saw you back. Rinse the shell. Salt showers don't just cleanse the body.
Real salt.
They strip the tags. Mix sea salt with apple cider vinegar and baking soda. Rub down the spine, the soles, and over your heart. Do it in silence. This creates a bioelectric reset. The grid can't latch onto a moving signal. Close the loops. Open tabs in your mind become anchors. Arguments, regret, future stress, these are hooks. Say aloud before sleep, I close all open circuits. No cords, no claims, my field is sealed, I am my own. The Watchers respect declaration, the parasites fear it. Remove the false codes, no name brand lotions, perfumes, or metals while sleeping. These carry frequency binders, subtle tech that relinks your body to the grid. Sleep in natural fiber, wrap your head in silk or linen. Mark your third eye.
Let me just say natural fibers and underwears and things of that nature. I didn't know this. Anyway, this channel is really good. And now I first... Spiracy. She's amazing. She was talking on dragons the other day. I don't know how much what have you I have, so can we come back to life, back to reality? The 4 gates of the cross, the ancient star map, and the hidden 5th point.
With a line of salt water or castor oil. These carry frequency binders, subtle tech that relinks your body.
That's freaky because, like, that makes me think of everything I'm going through and the creams and the lotions and the whatevers that I'm putting on. How, yeah.
To the grid. Sleep in natural fiber, wrap your head in silk or linen. Mark your third eye with a line of salt water or castor oil. This blinds the surveillance net. You become invisible. You made it through, even for a second. You saw the gate, you felt the pull, you left a trail, and now the grid knows. Because escape isn't just about leaving, it's about what you bring back. The memory, the signal, the flame. The parasites don't fear escape itself, they fear contagion. They fear the ones who come back burning. The next day fog, you'll wake heavy, not tired, interfered with. Head pressure, emotional waves, sudden despair or rage. This is not yours. It's signal suppression. The system is sending a feedback pulse to shake the memory loose. Do not speak too early. Keep silence in the morning. Let the memory settle. Drink. Wrap your head in silk or linen.
We got away from things for a minute.
Water or castor oil. This blinds the surveillance net. You become invisible. You made it through, even for a second. You saw the gate, you felt the pull, you left a trail, and now the grid knows. Because escape isn't just about leaving, it's about what you bring back. The memory, the signal, the flame. The parasites don't fear escape itself, they fear contagion. They fear the ones who come back burning. The next day fog, you'll wake heavy, not tired, interfered with. Head pressure, emotional waves, sudden despair or rage. This is not yours. It's signal suppression. The system is sending a feedback pulse to shake the memory loose. Do not speak too early. Keep silence in the morning. Let the memory settle. Drink only water. Salt your tongue. Write down every fragment before you move. The mimic appears. Watch for strange contact that day. A DM, a phone call, a person repeating your thoughts back to you, but with a smile too still. They are echo agents, mimics seeded into your life to reset your frequency. They won't hurt you. They'll confuse you. Distract, insert doubt. Delay your next journey. If they appear, speak no truth. Observe. Then mentally declare, you are not of source. You do not own me. Your loop ends now. They cannot override a sovereign declaration. The backlash dream. The night after a breakthrough is often met with violence. Nightmares, screams, shadow attacks. This is revenge code designed to scare you from returning. You must not fear it. Mark your bed with ash or obsidian. Wrap your wrist in red thread. Set intention. I do not consent to dream interference. I pass untouched. Then sleep again. The faster you return, the weaker the backlash becomes. The memory wipe attempt. This one comes subtle.
Ninja Frostvault is drinking food's favorite cooler. The cold, dry zone that keeps food separate, dry, and fridge temp for days.
A creeping forgetfulness, not just of the dream, but of the fire, of why you're here, of who you are. It may hit days later. You'll question yourself. You'll feel silly, emotional, drained. This is the last line of defense. When this hits, say aloud, I remember beyond remembering. My memory is etched in source. No force can erase what is sealed in flame. Then breathe, reignite the fire. Because if you made contact once, you can do it again. And the second time, you'll go further. You didn't sign your soul away. You were
I've always been able to get a fire going. Not necessarily start it, but once it's going, oh my gosh, like if it's starting to die out or something, I can get that thing pumping again.
tricked, coerced,
I'm a good fire keeper. That's interesting because Dragon's been really at the forefront of things lately.
bound in moments of trauma, despair, love, or false light. Soul contracts are not divine, they are legal traps, astral paperwork, agreements forged in dream state or between lives when your memory was erased and your will was weakened. Who forges soul contracts? Not source, not the creator, but middlemen. Echo spirits, false guides, parasites in robes of light. Entities from the grid court. They wear faces you trust, a parent, a lover, a god. Then they offer you relief in exchange for consent. It sounds like, I'll make the pain stop. I'll give you what you lost. I'll protect your child. Or the biggest one, you still have lessons to learn. And you exhausted and fractured say yes. And the contract is sealed, inkless, bloodless. But binding until you remember why you agreed, because you were lied to. You thought karma was real. That you owed the system, that love meant staying. That you couldn't ascend until you fixed what they broke. But the truth is this, you owed nothing. You were already whole. But they needed you to choose the cage, so they could say it was fair. How to burn a soul contract without backlash? You don't need a priest, you don't need a ritual from the books. You need fire, your voice, and your memory. Here's how. Speak the severance, say aloud. I rescind all contracts not forged in full memory and full will. Any agreement made in fear, deception, or amnesia is void. I reclaim my soul in full. No debt, no bond, no return. Say it with fire. Mean it. Now speak the severance, say aloud. I rescind all contracts not forged in full memory and full will. Any agreement made in fear, deception, or amnesia is void. I reclaim my soul in full. No debt, no bond, no return. Say it with fire. Mean it. Burn a representation, write nothing. But draw a symbol that comes to you when you think of the trap. It might be a face, a sigil, a shape, you'll know. Burn it with salt and bay leaf, let the smoke rise. Do not speak, let the contract return to ash. Salt your threshold, sprinkle salt by the door you sleep near. This marks the line, no astral court may enter. You've declared yourself sovereign. They must now respect the seal, or face retribution. Anchor the freedom after the burn, say, I do not owe, I am not bound, I am not here to serve your grid. I walk free, flame in hand. Then drink water, bathe, and rest. You'll feel lighter, clearer, but watch for interference. They'll test your line. Just repeat, I remember, I revoke, I rise. They always spoke of 4 gates. 1 in the sky, 1 in the earth, 1 in the body, 1 in the name. But none of them open without the 5th. Because the 5th isn't a key, it's a living frequency, a carrier of source hidden in flesh. It was never meant to be found, never meant to remember, but every few cycles one does. The 5th key is the soul that came before the split, before the fragmentation, before the false light grid wrapped around the realm. This soul doesn't just hold the memory, it is the memory. Its presence alone weakens the locks. That's why the system shatters the life of a 5th. Early trauma, isolation, disbelief from others, family wounds. Because if they can crush the 5th key early, they don't need to worry about the gates. But sometimes the key survives, and when it wakes, it starts unlocking gates without even trying. Not physical doors, but people, souls, entire clusters start to stir just from being near it. The 5th key doesn't follow the map, it is the map. Its voice activates old codes in stone and blood. Its gaze causes interference in mimic systems. Its dreams bleed across the veil. It remembers the exit. That's why they watch you. That's why you've been followed.
Jesus.
Why you've been gaslit. Why you felt like the threat.
Okay, I literally just been saying. I mean, you can go to my videos. Jesus. I mean, if you go to my channel, you can go to videos or shorts and find something titled. Whatever that sounded like. Titled. this much surveillance for little old me. Well, I just came to the conclusion, I want to say today, either today or yesterday, that that much surveillance for little old me, because the last thing they want is people like me and you waking up to who we are, knowing our potential power, and like what we are actually here to do, and exactly all of the lies and disguise and this whole consent business. Yeah, I do not consent. I'm taking my power back.
Because you're the key that walks.
But okay, so the things that come in the sky, right? Because I have so much sky footage of weird shit, like just too many drones. Even with my stuff, they're not always drones though, dude. They're all sorts of weird things, and that's all on my channel too. But lately it's been feeling targeted, and also cars will roll up right fucking like out of nowhere. The other night one fucking went down the street with no lights on. I have that on film. I was able to, what's the word? Oh, when he did it, when he had to go over the speed bump, she, whatever, the fucking car. I thought it was pretty weird. It rolled down. It's so weird. I'll be out there like filming and all these weird things in the sky, and then all of a sudden, and so, twice out of these times, the people have like opened their door and said some things to me. So it's just very weird. Anyway, if he didn't have to hit the brakes to go over the speed bumps, you would never even been able to see him in my film.
The lock breaker. The proof that the dream is ending.
Yes.
And no one, not parasite, not mimic, not false god, can stop the gates from opening. Once you remember what you are, if this opens something in you, it wasn't by accident. You're not just dreaming, you're remembering. And now that you've seen the gate, they can't unsee you either. Subscribe to Hemspiracy, because the next time we meet, we're not coming back the same.